Gran Turismo and Forza Horizon are two of the top racing games in the industry for good reason, and that tradition looks to be continued with the upcoming releases of Gran Turismo 7 and Forza Horizon 5 later next week. The superb controls, enhanced features, and insane graphics are some of the reasons why these games are ahead of their class. Although quite different in a number of ways, there's a lot of similarities between these two games as well. So let's put the two upcoming racing juggernauts in a head-to-head battle when it comes to similarities and see who comes out on top in a fun versus battle. GT7 versus Forza Horizon 5. And again, I'm very much aware that these two games are very different from one another, so let's not get too serious. But at the same time, let's have a little bit of fun, shall we? Alright, so here it is, the tale of the tape. Now what I've done here is laid out a few different categories for each game, putting them head to head. And now the first category that I want to talk about is graphics. This is going to be an extremely tough call. Let's start with Forza Horizon 5. From what we've seen so far, the game looks absolutely stunning. From overhead vistas to reflections and more. Forza Horizon 5 looks to be the easy winner, right? Well, let's take a closer look. Forza Horizon 5 will also be utilizing ray tracing, but only in Forza Vista mode. Ray tracing will not be a feature while driving. On the Gran Turismo side of things, the graphics that we've seen so far have been absolutely superb for GT7. The visuals are just as stunning and gorgeous, something that we've come to expect with current gen systems. When it comes to ray tracing, it will also be a feature for Gran Turismo 7 during instant replays. It's a close call, but in the graphics matchup, I'm going to give the edge to Gran Turismo 7, but you could easily argue that it's a toss-up. On to the next category, vehicles and tracks. Let's look at GT7 first. As I mentioned in a previous video, the unconfirmed vehicle list for Gran Turismo 7 is pretty expansive, and we can definitely bet that there will be plenty more from where that came from. It has already been confirmed that the game will have more than 400 cars at its disposal, but if you take a look historically, Forza Horizon's vehicle list is absolutely enormous. We're looking at well over 500 cars at launch for Forza Horizon 5, with more through DLC and future updates. Absolutely massive. Plenty of car makes to choose from, and a vast amount of models from those makes gives the slight nod to Forza in this department. Next up, controls. When it comes to Forza Horizon, the controls are just like they are in the Motorsport series, and the triggers remind me of throttling and braking respectively. Steering is very responsive, and overall do a great job at representing the environment no matter what the circumstances are when it comes to weather. And with the heavier cars, you can definitely feel the difference too as you corner through turns and brake. On the Gran Turismo side of things, it's nearly identical. Their triggers are responsive as well, and the steering is just as sharp. I can only imagine the challenges that will arise with the adaptive triggers and haptic feedback as well once the game drops on PS5. I can't judge when it comes to using a wheel, as I typically use a controller, so forgive me when it comes to that front. But for this category, it's tough. Both games have tremendous physics overall, and I'm gonna have to give it a toss-up when it comes to these two games with the controls and handling side of things. This next one has been brought up on my channel quite a bit by you guys: field size. I'm talking about the number of cars in a given racing field. Now, nothing has been confirmed so far that I know of when it comes to Gran Turismo 7, but so far, it appears that the grid size is 10 to 20 vehicles max per race. This is slightly disappointing given the power of the PlayStation 5 and how it should easily be able to handle 20 plus vehicles in a given race. On the Forza Horizon side of things, the game appears to be able to support more than 15 cars easily each race, and then some. So by default, this one goes to Forza Horizon. Next up, game modes. Gran Turismo traditionally has a ton of different modes in the game, from mission challenges to licensed tester driving school to arcade mode, simulation mode, and all the different races within simulation mode depending on the category of car you're using as well, such as endurance races and so much more. Each mode is unique in its own right. For Forza, there's plenty of racing events as well, and the world is completely open, giving you the opportunity to choose your own path and play however you'd like, whether you'd like to test your skills on a time trial or go race at an event. Gran Turismo tends to be more linear since the game isn't open world and has more of a defined aspect when it comes to modes of play. All in all, honestly, I think this one comes down to personal preference, and it's really hard to compare an open world game with a more linear style game that is for Gran Turismo 7. But for this one, I'm gonna go ahead and give the slight edge to Gran Turismo 7. Finally, let's talk about online. With Forza Horizon, a lot of the online features appear to be from a game perspective. From challenges like open drifting, games like Flag Rush and King, to even a battle royale called The Eliminator, Forza Horizon 5 has got it all. But when it comes to the simulation side of things, nothing beats the real driving simulator. This category depends specifically on user preference. If you prefer to have fun and don't care about a simulation experience, Forza Horizon is going to win this category hands down. But if you're playing to enjoy a simulation style race with friends or competitive drivers from across the world, no question, the Gran Turismo 7 is going to be the one to go with on this one. So there, with the final tally, it does appear that Gran Turismo 7 does get the slight edge over Forza Horizon 5. However, it does come down to preference overall. If you're looking to experience a type of game that is a little more arcade and with a slight taste of simulation, maybe not as serious, Forza Horizon 5 is going to be your winner. It all comes down to what you like, your personal style as a whole. I hope you all enjoyed this fun head-to-head matchup between the two franchises. Like I said earlier, I know these games are very different in their own right, but I thought it would be fun to have a little head-to-head matchup between the two just to see how they line up against each other. And the result is just as close as I would expect. Let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think, who you would choose as your winner between these two great racing franchises. And also let me know if you'd like to see some gameplay footage of me playing Forza Horizon 5 when it drops later next week, crashing over and over again once it's available on Xbox Game Pass. For more coverage on Gran Turismo 7 and Forza Horizon 5, make sure you're subscribed to the channel as there's more content on the way. I'm A to the P. Albert Perkins, and we will see you in the next one. Until then, and as always, peace!